right, let's finish the Unit 2 review sheet. We'll go over some of this in class, but let's finish this right now. So we finished the section on shifting the supply, or shifting the demand curve. Shifting the demand curve. Check. Finish that. Okay. One thing I didn't get onto there is make sure you do know that when we talk about shifting the demand curve, we're talking about, we drew a demand curve earlier. It means we are moving the demand curve to a new location. So that's an increase in demand. That's a decrease in demand. Okay, so increase, decrease. Know that those are the difference between the two. All right, our next bit is on this notion of elasticity. And here, let me get to, so elasticity is the next section. And for something to be elastic, it usually means that it's a demand curve, but instead of just being this kind of line like this, the line is a little more extreme. So let me back out of here. So instead, an elastic demand curve is going to look more like this. Here's my demand curve. So it's still, it's still tilted like a demand curve. It's just tilted a little less. So the difference here is we know that if we start with a low price, so let's put the price here, and it comes across right about there. And we raise the price, and I'm going to raise it all the way to here. We have a new price, P1. That the quantity people wanted changed a lot. So we have this new quantity over here. So this is a small price change. Leads to a big quantity change. And we'll talk in just a minute about what causes that quantity change. Okay, so that's elastic demand. So inelastic demand is kind of the opposite of that. And I'll make another page here. So inelastic demand looks like this. So here's my graph. And it looks more like our demand curve. Remember, we could have just a normal demand curve, but we're not. This is weird. So inelastic demand looks more like this. And same deal. If I have a low price here, there's my original price, and I raise the price a ton. I raise the price way up to here. Right, we have this big price change. But look what happens with the quantity. We were here, and now we're here. So we have a small price change, or sorry, opposite, my bad, a big price change. Price change leads to a small quantity change, and that is inelastic.
Are you thinking out loud?
No, I'm recording something. Everybody, Mr. Waters here.
Hi.
Ta-da.
Oh,
All right.
I only made one day of calculus in college. I
And-
did take economics back in the day.
There you go. So this will all come in handy.
I took macroeconomics. This is micro.
And it's just like that. I'll come get you. All right. Mr. Waters gone. We're alone now. All right. So things that change elasticity. Think of how this would work. What would cause, even if the price went way up, you'd still buy it. So things that are inelastic are things that tend to have few substitutes. And if you look right below on your sheet, substitutes, determinants of elasticity. If it's got few substitutes, it's going to be inelastic. If it's relatively inexpensive, think for a second if like a pack of gum becomes twice as expensive. It went from 50 cents to $1. You're probably still going to buy it, right? Even though the price doubled, likely going to buy it. Inelastic things are usually necessities, things that you need right now. If you have, my medicine to stop me from having seizures, if the price goes way up, I'm still going to buy it, right? Because I like not having seizures. And the last one is like no time to decide. Let's say I'm having a seizure. I'm not going to send you to 5 different stores to look around to see who has the best prices. I'm just go buy it. I don't care what it costs. And that's what elastic things are. They're kind of, I don't care how much it costs. I'm just going to buy it. Inelastic things are on the other side of things. So elastic goods rather have lots of substitutes, meaning you can go buy this somewhere else. Substitutes. They are usually really expensive. They take up a big portion of your income. Right, if a pack of gum costs twice as much, you're still going to buy it. But if that house costs twice as much or that car costs twice as much, I'm not buying that. So I'm going to bail out. I'm going to be part of this big quantity change. Elastic goods are usually things you don't need. They're luxuries. They're luxury goods. And if you have lots of time to think about it, lots of time to decide, they tend to be more elastic because you'll look for substitutes. You will figure out other things. So know the difference, and I'm going to give you some examples and figure out, are they elastic or inelastic, and why? So these are elastic goods. These are inelastic goods. That's that for that.